We're going to get going. You're speaking to Barbara. I am the head of marketing at Eagle Technology. We're very excited to have you with us today. We've seen a large interest in maintenance reliability KPIs and reports. So we thought it might be a good topic, share some information with you guys. We have some exciting handouts to give to you too. We have different samples of our custom and standard KPIs just to give you an idea of what's available should you want to compare what you're currently using or if it's something you want to learn more about. So those handouts will come during the answers and questions if you have any questions. So you can also use the chat or like the Q&A box if you have any questions that you want to ask during the session, then please feel free to use that box. Afterwards, we'll answer all of those questions. We'll give you the handouts. We'll also, during the session, give you a link to a free trial if that's something you're interested in. If you wanted to learn more about Proteus, feel free to use that. So during the session, we'll give you some more information. If we don't get to your questions, please don't be concerned. We'll definitely be able to answer them directly for you afterwards. So the agenda that we're going to cover is the introduction, which Scott Wilson, our technical support specialist, is going to cover for you. We're going to do the benefits of using KPIs, how KPIs can help you improve your maintenance operations, which KPIs are the most important for your facility, and how to use the data you are collecting with a CMMS. And then we're going to show you some of Proteus MX KPIs and reports. So that's the part where we'll give you the handouts to give you the samples of what's currently available. If it's, like I said, something that you want to compare or something that's new to you. Also, then again, feel free to sign up for that free trial. So as mentioned, Scott Wilson, our technical support specialist, is the presenter for today, and I'm really excited that he's going to share some information with you guys on this topic. Scott, I'm going to hand over to you. Thank you for joining us.
Excellent. Well, thank you everyone for joining and welcome. Part of what I do is technical support, but I also do things such as this and try to help you understand as much about Proteus MMX as possible, and KPIs are a valuable point of reference for you. What you can't manage what you don't measure. If you're not measuring what's happening in your facility and not appropriately taking the data, you are missing out on the ability to, first of all, save valuable time and maximize the funds you have to do the things that are necessary. So it's very important. KPIs and reports are extremely important to your facility and how it runs. So first of all, I'd like to speak a little bit about metrics and what is necessary within KPIs that sort of makes them operate. Main categories of the metrics that you will be sort of looking at and understanding. First of all, you're going to be understanding more about your assets, your machines, your devices, the things that you use on a daily basis to get your work done. Those things are vitally important, and some of you will understand that if one of your machines or one of your devices goes down, you are not working, and it's not a good thing. So it's valuable to understand as much as possible about your machines, your assets, your devices, and how they operate, and Proteus MMX and KPIs will help you do that. It also bears mentioning the operations, how you schedule your different maintenances and how you undergo or take about the task of doing those operations are valuable as well. And obviously, once your team has is collecting the data surrounding those operations and how they are undertaken, your maintenances, your repairs will become smoother and more straightforward, and there will be less unknown and less hurry up and wait. It'll be more understanding the problem and moving forward and taking care of it. Proteus and KPIs are designed to essentially circumvent demand maintenance as much as possible and get you to a point where preventative maintenance extends the life of your assets or machines and keeps things rolling as long as possible and as smoothly as possible. Then the other metrics that are measured from KPIs are inventory. So for example, you have parts inventory for your for all of your maintenances, and your techs will be able to track those parts and understand what's necessary for a particular task. And you will be able to understand the amount of inventory usage and how that pertains to a smooth operation and making sure that everything is moving effectively forward, and obviously saving the two most important things, your time and your money. So again, we are all about KPIs streamlining the process of what's going on behind the scenes, and essentially making things more clear and more importantly, understanding that process, streamlining how things are undertaken and how things move forward is extremely important. You're going to maximize productivity. Obviously, the longer you do something, the more money you are spending on it. So obviously the key here is to try to maximize the time spent, maximize the amount of money spent, and KPIs will allow you to, will be a nice window into that, giving you the ability to understand what's important, first of all, and then how to get better and how to be more effective as an organization. And then obviously we also improve safety and compliance with KPIs. Safety is really important, and doing things appropriately is really important. KPIs will allow you to see where potentially mistakes have been made with safety, and to assist in correcting those errors. And as well, some of you are probably undergoing constant compliance with regulatory agencies and such, and this will give you, for example, inspection history, and a way to essentially track those those work orders and those usages to be able to comply with the regulatory agencies you're involved with. Proteus is really straightforward in terms of getting the job done, and as well is solid and just ready to kind of manage all those individual tasks and get them done in a quick fashion. So essentially you're going to, when you begin using Proteus CMMS, or perhaps you have been using it currently, one of the most important things is trying to essentially get a plan in terms of how your company is going to utilize your CMMS, and measuring the data based on the input that you have your team and your techs input into the system will allow you to then view it later. So it's vitally important that what you're tracking aligns with what your goals are in terms of measurement and what you are focused on in terms of efficiency and reducing costs. So it allows you to essentially do that, first of all, by taking the data and basically outputting it KPIs, or key performance indicators, allow you to view the data that you are collecting. And obviously everything takes an effort to do, But again, the effort is well rewarded with KPIs, because you are able to then view the data that has been taken and understand more about your facility and improve what you do and improve your efficiency. And then benchmarking is key in terms of how you are doing things, because benchmarking allows you to sort of have those check marks in time that allow you to look at the data and say, okay, these things are important to us, and we are meeting or we are exceeding our goals, and then view exactly what you are doing as a team to improve those goals. And then, perhaps maybe there's a goal you wish to achieve within your facility. This KPIs will allow you to essentially get there and allow you to make it easier to understand what you're doing and maybe even what you're doing wrong. So again, those things really, really help. So some of the KPIs that we'll view a little bit later on are important to your facility. Asset downtime, key. How long is an asset down in a given amount of time? And again, all of the KPIs generally are a time-based selection, so you can select a month or a week or a year, or generally whatever you require to look at. So you can see over the last 6 months or year how long that particular machine has been down. Hugely important for your facility. And then we have demand maintenance and preventative maintenance hours by month. So you can see the breakdown, what has been done, both to repair, for example, in a demand maintenance situation, or to prevent something from happening. And then you can see how much time you've been putting into a specific situation to either fix or prevent the failures that have occurred. And then mean time between failure is a really, really great thing. It's kind of like look at the data that we've been tracking and how it affects us, and it's generally been a positive thing as you go along. Mean time between failure means that, hey, we're doing things really well, or we need some improvement, and the data bears out what those particular situations are. Again, and then mean time to repair is how long, for example, a machine has been down and how that's affecting your business is also something that's hugely important. Do you need to get more people on that to issue the repair? Do you need to reorganize the way you're handling it? So good thing as well. And then of course the most important thing here is, why did it break in the first place? What's the root cause failure? Why did this happen? And understanding, first of all, tracking those things from your team, and then being able to react by looking at the KPIs and saying, this is the problem. And then being able to look at that data and draw some conclusions. What can we do to do things differently? Vitally important. And then also work orders. Work orders essentially is what drives your facility, what you're doing to maintain, to repair, to improve your your assets. Work orders will give you the ability to look at what's been done. Could be per facility, could be per asset. You can look at those things and understand immediately what type of work is being done and what's the purpose of it. So all these things are really great for understanding visually what's going on in your facility. Now, I made mention earlier about the plan, and the plan to capture data as a team or as an organization is vitally important when you're using Proteus MMX or any CMMS. The understanding of everyone being on the same page and saying, these things are really important to us. These key pieces of data help us to do things more efficiently. And so having a plan and then being able to go back, analyze that plan with KPIs and reports, and make the necessary course corrections to get things at a level where it's less demand maintenance or break fix type of maintenance, and it's more of a straightforward plan to just maintain the equipment you have. So again, all extremely important in terms of doing that is having the plan and executing the plan and making sure everyone's on the same page. That's vital to your success. So let's look at some of the reports and KPIs here. First of all, just visually, you'll get this in the handout as well, so you'll have a good idea what these do and how they behave. Total cost by facility is a really great one. On the bottom, you can see each facility, and then you can take a look at how much in whatever currency you're using, dollars, yen, what have you. You can see how much is being spent based on the date range selection you've made up at the top. And you can choose a specific facility, or you can choose all facility here, where you can see multitudes of them. Now, Proteus MMX is essentially used to and designed for specifically multiple facilities, and essentially in most cases international facilities, and allowing you to connect all that data in one location among all these different sites is part of the value in terms of how you can relate that data and understand it as a manager, as a CEO, as the person doing the work in the trenches. It's all here. It's all possible from the CMMS. So a couple of other ones: mean time to repair. As you can see how many basically represented in hours on the left, and then the asset number on the bottom. Also a really great way to take a look at a specific asset and see what's going on. You can see, that's that press or that chiller has been problematic, and you can kind of see how long it's taken to repair, and you can analyze the data and say, okay, maybe it's time for this machine to be taken out of service and replaced by another one, and is that economically feasible to do? Again, those are also decisions you can make from within Proteus MMX and the KPIs. And then root cause failure, another good one. Again, root cause, you can see, is it normal wear and tear? Is it operator error? Is it weather? Is it a request to change things? You can see how all these things are kind of represented easily. And then mean time between failure, another really solid one here. So you can see how many hours of days in this case the machine has been running with no troubles. So those are also great. And then we have what are also called custom KPIs, which are sort of the next level. So you see here work labor up in the upper left, work labor kind of tracking what's being done and being essentially tracking the work type here and the cost. So you can see individual costs here, and you can see how much time has been spent on a particular thing, particular work type. Then you can see financials as well. So you can see how much has been spent on a particular cost center So we deal with cost centers in Proteus MMX, and those cost centers can be represented and shown in terms of how much is being spent on that particular cost center. So you can see that very easily. Dashboard is a great thing as well. Dashboard allows you to have different segments. You can see how customer service is being maintained here. For example, mean time to complete a work order, or service request response time, how long those individual elements take. You can view them instantly and kind of see what picture is being drawn by the data that's being represented from within Proteus. Asset downtime is another good thing. Important to know how long something is going to be down, and how often it's going to be down. So those are also really great KPIs. And also we've done expansion into the Microsoft Power BI world. So you'll know, and perhaps some of you don't, Microsoft has a set of tools called Power BI, which essentially gives you the ability to build a specific visual performance indicator based on data that you select and import into their tool set. And it is possible to essentially take Proteus data and build your own Power BI KPIs. So again, here are some of the ones that are available. Preventative maintenance completed, critical repair summary, PDM activities, and proactive and reactive. Again, as you start to utilize a lot of the Proteus data that that you collect, you'll notice that you make a genuine shift from a reactive situation where something is broken and you need to go in there and fix it, and it's gonna be several hours downtime, versus being proactive, understanding what's going on, understanding how often the machine is in service, and understanding when it's going to go down or when you think it's going to go down based on the previous data. And then obviously making the shift between understanding what needs to be done on a consistent basis to improve the runtime of a machine, and then be able to use that data and understand what's happening and to be able to predict. So prediction of, if you've all heard of AI, this is not AI, but we are essentially starting to utilize elements of AI in our program to help us as humans to understand what is going on. But the Power BI stuff really is a great way to essentially create your own methods of visual KPIs. And again, it's not something that you'll do in 5 minutes. Some understanding needs to be done in order to utilize it. But it is definitely a positive step, and it's another great way to be able to visualize that data. And also in Proteus, we have reports. Now, if you think of KPIs as a visual representation of the data, you can think of reports as essentially a way to take that data and turn it into a tangible form that allows you to essentially report to maybe your board members, maybe to your boss, maybe to a regulatory agency. But essentially, reports will allow you to take that data and essentially print it out, or you can create a spreadsheet in Microsoft Excel and use that data for presentation purposes to someone else or another body. So a couple of things here. Asset runtime can be reported on. You can see again the assets, the locations, and then you can also see runtime. And then you can also select based on a date for all 99% of the reports are all date-based and offer date selection. Then you have assets, so you can actually report on what assets are in what location, where they're held, and their names and original costs if you so desire. Again, within all of these, the data that you are tracking, the data that you input as the team, as part of your technicians, will be represented within Proteus. Largely, this doesn't magically happen. It's required to input the data in several methods. But the most important thing is that you're getting accurate data into Proteus so that these reports become very, very straightforward and easy. So bill of materials, another solid one. If you need to know what materials are necessary, parts and such, for a specific work order, that can be reported on and shown. And then downtime by cause. So how much was the electrical surge from last week? How long did that keep us down? So you can also look at that and report on it to show what happened. Well, how come we're missing 4 hours of time? Well, now you can show them and describe it rather than try and explain it in a way that they don't care. So it's a good thing. We also have things that are called custom reports. Custom reports can be designed specifically for your needs. So it's important to look at custom reports. For example, if your organization needs something that a standard report won't utilize, that we can also do custom reports, and we can have things look and output the way you require them to be. And again, here are some examples of those.
Scott, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with everybody and presenting and sharing some of your knowledge. There's contact details on the slide now. Sorry, there's contact details on there if you want to contact us direct. Sales@eaglecmms.com, or you can visit our website at www.eaglecmms.com. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you very much, everyone.